back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Heather. I am the owner and author behind TownsendHouse.com, where I help you implement systems and strategies in order to overcome the chaos and cultivate simplicity in your home and homeschool. I would love for you to subscribe and hit the notification bell, like this video, all of the things. Today is going to be my February tending list for my power sheets. I'm going to go over working on my goals for February and a little bit of a recap for January. Yes, this video is coming up a week after February has begun, but that is how it is. I actually did not fill out my tending list until Wednesday, the 3rd, I guess. So, and that's totally okay. It's just the way that it happened to work for me this month. And, you can be discouraged if you don't do everything on time, or you can just say, okay, this is where I'm starting, and just start making progress. So let's get into it. January was actually a really good month for me. I tend to use January to get settled for the year instead of trying to have everything planned out and ready by January 1st. It's just not realistic for me. I wish that it were. It used to be. I used to take the time between Christmas and New Year's that week to sit down and really reflect and think about everything that I wanted to do in the year ahead. And I do still do that some. This year, I really just took a break. So January started, and I knew that I was going to take January to sort of slowly get used to a new year and figure out what I wanted to do. And that's how my tending list for January was. I had some pretty good progress with my monthly tasks and my weekly tasks, but my daily tasks were not so great. I think that I put down like morning routine, which I do every day anyways. I get up, brush my teeth, have my coffee, read the Bible, etc. I did not do as much of the other daily tasks. I was really just concentrating on finding our rhythm again for homeschool, and I haven't been getting up as early as I have for the past decade, so that has definitely been part of it. I've been staying up later. My kids are getting older, and so they are staying up later, which means I'm staying up later. Instead of going to bed, I would be in bed at 9 o'clock if I could, because I'm much more an early morning person rather than a late night person. But my kids will stay up until 9:30 or 10. Yes, they do. They would stay up later if I didn't come in and say, now it's time to go to bed. So it's a little bit more challenging. I could still go to bed earlier, but I've been reading at night. It has been my time to really read, and which was one of my things on my daily tasks, daily habit that I wanted to do, because I do read a lot for homeschool, but I read a lot of nonfiction, self-help, business books and stuff, but I haven't been reading novels or fiction for a while. I will read occasionally a good series, but I really just wanted to get back to more reading, and I did focus on that in January. I won't tell you how many books I read because you'll think it's ludicrous, but anyways, so I did all of my monthly action items except for the filing cabinet, and I had a 30-minute declutter challenge a daily declutter challenge for 2 weeks that I thought I would do, and I did sign up for it, but then it was a free thing. It was not a pay thing. But then I did not have the time. I really needed to focus my time on homeschool rhythm. So, and we don't have a ton to declutter, I don't think. It is a focus that I want to have, but probably not until March, April, when I do like a real big spring cleaning of the house. Right now, I'm just trying to get the house kind of ready for that big spring cleaning and going through the different rooms, seeing what we need, what I want to get rid of, etc. It's part of my life-giving home goal is to get my house in order. And I did get a lot of stuff done in January, so I was happy about that. I got the vision boards with the kids done. I have a video of that if you're interested. You can do that at any time of year. We will do them again in July. I said that in my vision boards video, that I do it like on a 6-month basis with my kids, so they're looking at more short-term goals. It's easier for them to conceptualize that. I did complete the Simplified Challenge, which Emily Lay does on Instagram every January. It's like 30 days. The tasks are super quick, like 5-10 minute tasks. A lot of them I had already done, so I did not need to incorporate them, but this is something I've been doing for the past few years. It's just a fun little challenge to get ready for the new year. I did have my planning day, which was good. And then on my planning day, I worked on my cultivated calendar and setting up my 2021 planners. I use a lot of different planners. I'm hoping to have a video with like all of the planners that I use. I know it sounds crazy. I think that'll go up hopefully later this week. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I did get the homeschool room relatively organized, at least until the end of our homeschool year. We're in our final homeschool year stretch for like the next 9 weeks or so. That will finish up our day count for the year, what Maine requires. We have to do 175 days, and we run our school year July through June because that's what the public school does as well. It's not a requirement, but it just makes it easier for me. And so we will finish up most of our curriculum like the first week in April and switch to more projects for April, May, and June until we start our new school year in July. It seems like a lot of school. We're year-round homeschoolers. It's not 8 hours every day. It's closer to like 4 or 5 hours most days, and a lot of that is interest-led learning, where they work on their passion projects. I talk a lot. I'm trying to get a lot in this video. It's going to be long. I'm sorry. Weekly action items: record the books that I read in Goodreads in my Erin Condren teacher planner for the kids. I did keep track of all the books that I read in Goodreads, but I have not written down the books for the kids. I still have a stack of books that I need to write down. But I've done some of it. I just need to be better about doing that weekly. Just Friday, write down the books that they've read. Homeschool planning, I did really well with that. Every week on Sundays, I did my homeschool planning. Food prep, I've done really great with food prep. I got that book, Cook Once, Eat All Week, maybe. And I didn't use any of her information, but I did use some of her ideas. So I would do like shredded chicken at the beginning of the week, and I would make chicken spaghetti, chicken fried rice, enchiladas, which I have never made before, but I did make them a couple of weeks ago, and the kids actually love them, so we'll do that. I did, cook rice ahead of time. This is stuff that I used to do all the time, worked really well, and then I just kind of dropped off doing it this past year. Crazy town. I did do some batch writing and some batch video. I did not post as many as I had hoped. I kind of adjusted my content calendar, but I'm still trying to figure out what a good rhythm for posting on Townsend House, my website, and my YouTube channel. I haven't figured it out yet. It's something that I still keep thinking about every day or every week. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next, but sometimes my business stuff gets put on the back burner because my family life is my number one priority, and so I would like to have better balance, quote unquote, but I really think that, when your passion is your business, that's awesome, but it does come at the expense of something else. And so my passion really has to be my family and homeschool first, and then business second right now. It may change as we get into better rhythms. That was my focus last month. And then for my daily action items and habits, I did have my morning routine. I tried to stack that with oil pulling, which is something that I really want to do. And I used to do better when I was waking up early. When I wake up later in the morning, I don't feel like I have enough time to do oil pulling. I did write most mornings. I did check in with the main Homeschool Network Facebook group, which I run. And that has been really wonderful. I did a little bit of check-in with my Townsend House community group on Facebook. And then journaling. I started using an Erin Condren, what is it called? I have it, but it's over on the other side of the room. I'm not going to get it right now. It's one of those pocket planners. It's just a little space, like a horizontal dated planner for 2021. And each night I have just been jotting down a couple of thoughts about the day, anything the kids have done. It's not really like a journal where I brain dump or pour out my heart or talk about struggles that I'm having. It's not any of that. I have another journal that I use for that kind of stuff. But this is mainly just little tidbits of information that the kids will say during the day or whatever it is. So I have been doing that at night regularly. I started it the second week in January, and so I have been doing that every night, and I'm really enjoying that quite a bit. So that is kind of the monthly wrap up for January, and now I'm going to move into what is ahead for February. So the first part in February is this prepare well section, and it has a place for important to-dos I'm excited for, on my mind, and I'm hopeful that. So I use this similar to my notebook that I talked about in my 2021 goals and action plans video, where I have a little Cultivate What Matters notebook, and I have categories in that notebook, and I just keep a running list of things that I want to do or things that I think fit into a specific category for my goals. And so I just jot some of those ideas on this page first. And then it is the calendar, which I don't really use for anything. I do write down birthdays or important dates, like holidays, or if we're going on a vacation, which we're not right now, but it's not I don't use that calendar probably as much as other people do, and that's because I have other planners that I use for the calendar section. I mainly use the monthly stuff just to sort of figure out what I want to do for the month, get my ideas out, and then I do my tending list. So then the next part is brainstorm your monthly ideas, weekly ideas, and daily ideas. And then these you can sort of just put on your tending list. My priority for the month is organize. Last month it was rhythm, and I just really wanted to get into a good rhythm for homeschool, for food prep, for general home maintenance tasks that I had to do, like vacuuming every day. We have a giant white fluffy dog and dark hard floor, so there's a lot of fur every day. Things like making sure I get the dishes done before bed, or making sure my husband does the dishes before bed, getting everything prepared the night before for homeschool the next morning. Those are just things that make my life easier, that are easy for me to just say, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that right now. But this month, it is all about organizing and getting things organized. Last month, I did not go through my filing cabinet. I started to go through my tax stuff. There was a lot about recaptured depreciation that I need to deal with. So I kind of put that down, but this month I do have to deal with my taxes. So the first monthly action item that I have is my filing cabinet, and then right under it, taxes. I need to take a day to just go through all of my files and get everything better organized, redo labels, because I haven't done it since we've moved into this house, and I have different categories of things now, different homeowners insurance and tax stuff, all of the things. So that needs to be done. It's not a fun project, but I'll be happy when that and my taxes are done for the year. I hate doing taxes, but I also really like doing taxes. It's so weird, I know. So that is in my adulting, my awesome adulting category, which is not very awesome, but it is one of those things you just gotta get your stuff together and get it done. The next thing on my list is setting up the cleaning card system. Now, this is something that I saw from A Bowl Full of Lemons on Instagram a couple of years ago. I have her 2 cleaning books, like Home Organization and Cleaning. It might really just be called Cleaning. I'm not sure. I will see if I can find a link for that post and leave it in the description box for you. It's essentially just taking index cards and writing down the steps and how long it will take for you to do different rooms in your home or different zones, different tasks for cleaning. Part of the reason is it's not because I don't know how to clean a room, but part of it is so that I can help my kids, especially my older 2, start taking on more responsibility for the different areas of our house. If they have a list and a time frame for how long to do something and exactly what to do, the steps to do it, they're much more likely to do it than if I just say, can you go clean the kitchen? So this is partly so that everybody is on the same page as far as what I expect to be done. When I say, clean the kitchen, it's not just put the dishes in the dishwasher. So that is something that I want to do. I want to get my homeschool cart organized and the planning cart organized. I actually have those almost done. I spent a couple of days this week, or one day this week, really going through my office. Again, I did this right before Christmas and it was really clean, and then Christmas happened and it was like Amazon threw up in there, so I had to go through everything again. I rearranged some stuff. We had a bed in there because it was like a guest bedroom as well as my office. We moved the bed out, so I have a lot more space in there. And I have some stuff on the homeschool cart. Mainly it's just the kids' math books and some Brain Quest activity books that I give them when they're bored to do, books that we're reading currently, history books and stuff like that. And on my planning cart, I do have the planners that I'm currently using and nothing else right now. A couple of notebooks and some stickers, but I do want to better organize that. I think I need to get a couple of little baskets so it's not so messy. I don't like messy. So, which is surprising if you would see my house. So I have to do those 2 carts. I started a book club for the first book that we're doing is The Brave Learner by Julie Bogart. It came out a couple of years ago. I was on her launch team. It's one of my favorite homeschooling books because her Brave Writer lifestyle philosophy, Brave Learner philosophy, is something that I have been doing in my homeschool for the past decade. And so to read a book, kind of based on what I'm already doing was very validating for me. This came out of some questions in my Maine Homeschool Network Facebook group, and so I do have a group of maybe 20 or 30 homeschool moms that are joining this. I will leave a link if you would like to sign up for that. It's not going to be in the Maine Homeschool Network Facebook group. I'm not sure how I'm going to facilitate it at the moment. It might be some sort of YouTube live video. I don't know about that. It might just be like a discussion, like a text discussion. I haven't figured it out yet, but I will leave a link if you want to read that. I'm hoping to do that by the end of February. It may be a couple of weeks of book club, maybe not all in one sitting because there's a lot of information to digest. And Julie actually has a companion guide, and I think that I have a link for that I can share with you It's like 100 pages, like work pages to work through all of the different ideas that are in the book. It's really great. Even if you don't do the book club, you should download that and print out those pages. It's great for homeschool planning and figuring out what you want to do next for your year, or if you're stuck or struggling. Really, really recommend that. My home management notebook, I have started to set it up. This is like the never-ending process. I've been setting it up for, well, I purchased a notebook from Erin Condren, just an 8.5 by 11 line notebook last summer, thinking that I was going to get it set up. I did not, but now I have started to set it up. I put washi tape on like the first page and divided it into sections. The first couple of pages are just a perpetual calendar. I've made 12 boxes and the months so that I know when there are tasks that need to be done throughout the year for our home, like getting our heating checked out, changing filters, testing our well water, septic stuff, all of those things that happen, around the same time each year, and just having a list so that I don't have to think about it. If I can get as much out of my brain so I'm not constantly thinking about those things. I don't know if it's just me, but I am constantly thinking about all of the things that need to be done. And so I try to let that go when I write it down, and it usually works, which is why I write down so many things. And if I have systems to write down things so that then I can refer to it when I have the time, or I know that I can dedicate time to specific tasks, it just makes my life easier. It really does. I want to create a plan for my March-April decluttering project. Now, I said with my January stuff that I didn't have a ton to declutter, and that was based on the challenge that I had signed up for. The areas that they were working on each day, it was like a 30-minute a day declutter challenge. They were not areas that I was struggling with, so they were more areas that I don't have any issues with decluttering. So my spring cleaning, decluttering, de-owning is really going to be, going through all of the kids' clothes. We have bins of clothes in the basement I need to go through to bring up Emma's old clothes for Lucy, see if I have things, making a list of what they need for spring, summer, things like getting rid of some of our broken furniture that is so broken and doesn't work, and getting new stuff, and just really figuring out what we need to do. That kind of goes with my home management notebook, because I'm going to go through and do an inventory of every room, and then things that I want to get, things that I need to get, that we've been putting off this year just because 2020 was so crazy and we didn't want to spend the money, just in case. I'm much more risk averse when it comes to money, so that is it. Last month, my focus in the basement was on the homeschool side of our finished basement. This month, it's going to be the toy room side, which also doubles as where the treadmill is and the stair stepper is. So, and it's kind of a small space. I don't have a whole lot of room down there, but it does need to be better organized. And one thing that's been a little hard in this house is that the kids' bedrooms are significantly smaller than at our old house. We have more space in the common areas of our home, like the living room, dining room, kitchen area, and then we do have a finished basement, which is great, and obviously much more outside land. But because of that, we gave up space in the kids' bedrooms. Now, my kids' bedrooms at our old house were exceptionally large. They were like 16 by 16, which maybe that doesn't seem very large, but it seemed quite large to me. But now they're much smaller, so I need to figure out a way to organize the toys, go through the toys. They haven't even really been unpacked since we moved into the house. Things are still The toys are still in boxes, which goes to show you, do we really need those toys? I don't know. So that is going to be part of my decluttering for March and April, but I do kind of need to get the toy room at least cleaned up and better put together for now so that it is not a mess down there. It's very easy for it to become a mess, but there it is. And then the kids' rooms. That's the other monthly action item because, again, they're small and they don't have good systems for storing the things that they keep in their bedrooms at the moment. Jack purchased a green screen and studio lights because he loves making films, making movies. And so he and Emma and Lucy have been making a Zelda movie that he spent like 2 years writing a script for, based on the Ocarina of Time, I think. Maybe. So that's taking up a significant portion of his bedroom at the moment. So I'm not sure where I'm going to keep that. But and then for weekly action items, homeschool planning, I still want this to be a weekly action item because it just needs to be written down. Otherwise, it's easier for me to say I'm not going to do it. Regular planning, which is something I haven't been doing as much because we haven't been going anywhere, so there hasn't been a lot to actually plan, but I do want to take some more time for my regular planning. This month for creative hospitality, I want to make sure that I am writing and mailing some cards to friends, even local friends. I'd like to do that weekly, just to sit down and jot a few notes out to some people just to say that I'm thankful for them and I'm thinking of them. Maybe sending like a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donuts gift card or something like that, just to hopefully cheer people up. That's my plan. And then I started trying to do this a little bit in January, is texting friends to just check in with them, in addition to writing and mailing cards, like physical cards. I feel like it's nice to just sort of check in with people. They don't always write back, and that's okay, but just to say, I hope you're having a good week. Is there anything that I can pray for you about, that kind of stuff. And then the other weekly action item is budgeting and bills. I do pay my bills weekly. I think a lot of people do, but just checking in with the budget and making sure that I'm on track. I'm really trying to reduce spending on pretty much any little extra thing that we really don't need. Like things like I don't want to keep getting takeout pizza for Friday night. I've been trying to do better at food prep. I say that now. I'm recording this on a Saturday, and last night we did get pizza from takeout because I was just very tired. But so I want to keep track of my budget. I started using the budget planner, the A5 budget planner from Erin Condren. I purchased that in December. I did not get it set up for January, but I do have it set up for February, and I'm tracking my spending every purchase, which was one of the reasons that I really wanted to use a physical budget book this year instead of just my Excel spreadsheet, because it's easier for me to just write down a purchase when I'm making the purchase, because most of my purchases are online at the moment, or like pickup orders, which I do online and then go pick up. And then for my daily action items and habits, I have Bible, journal, my PM journal, which is the pocket planner from Erin Condren that I talked about before, checking in with the main homeschool network, reading, oil pulling again, and then office tidy. And the office tidy is mainly because I take out so much stuff for homeschooling each day, and it is in my office, so I can easily just sort of shut the door. But it gets overwhelming to me. I don't like a lot of visual clutter or surface clutter, and I use a dining room table for my desk so that I have enough room to spread out like instructor's guides and things like that. And even though I use them every day, it's just better if I can put them away instead of leaving them out until the weekend and then trying to spend the time to clean up from the week. So that is another thing. I didn't put down morning routine this time because I did want to focus more on my Bible reading. Usually I will just read, something really quick in the morning, or I have been recently, and I wanted something a little bit more in depth. And so I actually found a 90-day chronological reading plan. I read the Bible chronologically in a year, I think in 2019 or 2018, and I really enjoyed reading the Bible chronologically. I thought it made a lot more sense, especially in the Old Testament. So I did find a 90-day plan, and I know that probably sounds very overwhelming. I have read through the Bible several times, and I do like the 90-day plans because it's, sitting down and reading for like 45 minutes or so. It's 10 to 12 chapters usually, and I am a fast reader, so that helps. But it's something that I enjoy. So I found that 90-day chronological plan, and I think I'm on day 10 maybe. And so hopefully I will finish that in April and then move to some more specific Bible studies on specific things. But so I wanted to put Bible down because that is a much more significant portion of time than I have been dedicating based on my regular morning routine. So that is everything for February. This is going to be another really long video. Talking about goals and talking about all of the things that I try to do to work towards my goals. I'm very long-winded, I guess. So my focuses this month really are life-giving home, working on continuing to make systems for us with the cleaning card system, going through and setting up my home management notebook where I'm doing the inventories, things that we need, tasks for the house, because we will have been in the house for a full year and a couple of weeks, and so now I kind of know all of the things that we need to do monthly. Also, life-giving homeschool, finishing out our year strong. Like I said before, I think we have about 9 weeks left until our day count is over and our homeschool year kind of officially wraps up with most of our curriculum. And then the awesome adulting. I am pairing my reading with the taxes and the filing cabinet. When I do some work on the filing cabinet or taxes, then I can read for some enjoyment. Also, my creative hospitality, sending out cards and text check-ins, that is another thing, and then growing my faith with the new Bible reading plan. Yeah, so I am excited about what February has in store. It's a short month. My husband's birthday is this month, and it's going to be a good month, I think. And we have some snow on the ground for the kids to play in outside. Yeah, so I am hopeful that we have a good month ahead. I would love to hear what you're working on for February, so leave me a comment and let me know down below, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.